On the Michael D. Show today, well, we've had celebrities here all day. Now we've got the celebrity matchmaker. She's from Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, California, where she puts couples together. Welcome to the show,
Thank you,
Julie.
Michael. Glad to be here.
How long have you been doing matchmaking, and what does it look like today in the internet age?
I've been doing this for 33 years since I married the guy who sold me my dating service membership at his agency.
Well, I would say he got his money's worth, and I'm guessing you're making back your investment, right?
Well, I asked him, I said, hey, what's the story with you? I looked in the G book under Gil. I didn't see you. What's the story? He said, I'm not supposed to ask out my members.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what would you do if one of your members asked you out?
Yeah.
And he said, if she was cute, I'd probably go. I said, come on, let's go have a beer.
Yes.
And 5 weeks later, we got engaged. And 5 months later, we got married. And 2 months later, we got pregnant with Alex, who's 31. Then came Kevin, 29. And I wasn't supposed to have children.
Oh, that's a miracle. That's a story, and that's epic. Wow.
So I've been, ever since, it's been a natural payback for me to help other people get through dating with a little more dignity and a little less, yuck.
Well, it's a crazy world. I mean, how many singles are there? And it's like 40% single America. And I was in that world for 20 years before and after online dating. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you're epically getting people prepared. What do you do that's different?
Well, I've always thought that the real secret to doing matchmaking well is to make sure that there's a whole lot of coaching, because we don't see our own blind spots. So any client who works with me, there's always a two-pronged approach. It's working on the inside, finding our blind spots and working on that, but then having a strategic action plan. I want the people who I'm working with to have a couple of first dates every month with qualified candidates. I don't care how they meet them. Might be through me, might be at the grocery store, but I teach people how to do all of that.
Well, the grocery store was a big pickup place for me. That's where I would go. I felt like it was better than the bar.
You like the cantaloupes, did you?
The cantaloupes were hot, and but I would go to church and the grocery store. I had better success. But meeting you, it was so much fun hearing how you put couples together. You've been featured on media all over Los Angeles. What is a dating marketing plan?
I do something called a romance marketing plan. It's something that my dating coach did with me before I found my husband. And we create a strategy. So a lot of it is working on the inside, finding out those blind spots, working on the top 3 critical criteria. Biggest mistake people make in dating is vetoing somebody for something that's really way down low on their list. And so to identify what those top 3 are and to look for green flags, not red flags. Look for evidence of those qualities. And so it's all about practicing that and using dating as an opportunity for personal growth, not just to get to the end.
Well, I really like that, and you've got so many success stories and so many video testimonials that you're putting a book together. Tell us what's coming.
I'm really excited about the book, and it's not going to be a typical dating advice book. It's going to be a story about lots of couples and how they found love, and there's a lesson in every one of them for the single people who are still out there trying to make it happen.
Well, there's a lot of single people trying to make it happen, and you know, for a business to survive past 5 years is a big deal. You've been doing this for 20 years. Now, what's the secret to your success?
You know, I think from the very beginning, what made me successful is I never treated human beings like a lead. In the dating industry.
Well, they used to tell guys, they would, my dating coach said, you got to get your numbers up. So it was all about the numbers and the data.
I've really enjoyed from the very beginning each person. I've registered over 36,000 people.
36,000 people?
I've personally registered over 36,000 people in 20 years. And
That's
I started
amazing.
with number 1. And I used to know people's numbers, but I don't know them anymore.
Well, we're not talking about body counts there. We're talking about statistical dating numbers.
Yeah, people that I have personally registered and know myself. It's really been beautiful.
Now, you have some things you teach people, and I particularly got a kick out of the second one. Keep your pants on. What's that about?
It's simple dating advice, folks. Keep your pants on until
I did that.
Until you've had a conversation.
Sometimes it's tougher than other times, but yeah.
You don't have to keep them on forever, but you need to keep your pants on until you've had a conversation together in the light of day, sober, about what sex means to you, what it means to this other person. Exclusivity, does it matter? And you know, nobody ever called me on a Monday morning and said, darn, I wish I'd slept with that guy. Never happened.
It was the other way around,
You got it. I got a lot of those sob stories.
They were looking for the priest, right?
So, and then, you know, sometimes my client will send me a message on Saturday morning, Julie, I lost my pants. But, you know.
What can you do? What is the power of my audience loves you, Julie. We're going to have you back and do a deep dive
Dating
on
and
the Michael
matchmaking
D.
is just
show.
sexy. Everybody loves it.
Everybody, if they're not dating, when I was married, I envied the singles. When I was single, I envied the marrieds. Now that I'm married, I'm happily married, finally. It was a journey for me, and I tell you, there's a lot of pitfalls out there, but what is the power of three?
Three is the 3 critical criteria. Don't ever dismiss a suitor if he seems to have the evidence of these 3 things that matter to you the most. So identifying those. Also, the power of 3, get to date number 3. I started studying success stories and the people who actually waltzed off into a relationship, and they were people that didn't just have one and done. They weren't just one date wonder people. They were 3 date specialists, and that's what I learned was so powerful. Because who shows up? Chris Rock said this, who shows up on our first date? Our representative.
I like that. I like that. You could be that's really so true. So why do you do this work?
Why I do this work is because I know very well personally the pain of loneliness when I wanted so badly to find my partner, and I tried everything, not knowing that I was doing plenty wrong. So hiring a dating coach, he made me write a check, he made me put skin in the game, and following his advice, and then getting very busy. I don't know anybody who tried more creative things to meet her partner than I did. I still take the prize. I tried everything. I put together a personal profile all about myself with pictures, and I had it copied 1,000,000 times, and I sent them out to everybody I know with a cover letter saying, who do you know who wants to meet this girl? I tried everything.
I saw a poster of you somewhere. It was on a bulletin board. So
I put my picture on a bus. No, I didn't really.
The billboards and things. So I got to ask this question because it's the elephant in the room that men are dying younger than women, and as women age, they have a smaller dating pool, whereas men, it's opportunity.
There are actually 2 dramatic demographic challenges. Not only the older ladies, over the age of 65, there's like 3 times as many single women as there are single men. So that's problematic. Actually, I have the solution. We just sprinkle magic dust on all the ladies and get them to like each other, and then the odds are great.
Yes.
But the other thing that people don't realize, took you a while, the other thing that people don't realize is that the young guys are really, really struggling. Young men right now, think about it, all the guys want to date these cute young girls in their 20s and early 30s. Well, there aren't enough of them, and so they get inundated. So the young guys are suffering and the older ladies are struggling.
Well, you're doing powerful things, and I know you've got so many success stories. You're trying to figure out which one to put in the book, but apart from you and Gil's, what's a success story you can share?
Here's a cute success story that illustrates the power of 3, all right? There was this couple that I wanted to introduce. I met this guy through a speaking engagement. He was a doctor, and he was sitting in my office, and we were looking at real-life people together, which is what I do in our consultation. I got to check his picker and find out if he's, going
Make sure
for the
they
right.
are alive and have a pulse. Right?
Yes, yes, pulse, fog a mirror, all of that.
I remember years ago when I did the traditional dating thing, they wanted to look at your bank account and see what you had asset-wise, and they wanted to pull your credit and do everything, which I think is a good idea. I mean, do you have a job? These kind of things are important. So.
Yeah, that's right. So what happened was Jim was in front of my computer, and I showed him Leslie, and he said, well, that's it, we're done. How do I sign up? That's my girl. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, because I have worked with her before, and she usually goes for kind of the Clooney type. And Jim is a great guy, physician, radiologist, incredible guy, but not looking like Clooney. And so he signs up, and I'm thinking, oh boy. So I called Leslie, and I said, I got a guy for you. She says, he's not my type, Julie. I said, I know, but we've been dating your type, and we haven't found him yet. So she says, okay, fine. It wasn't until the 3rd date, and she fell in love with him, making dinner together for a dinner party, smashing the garlic, crying over the onion. She grabs the phone, goes into the bathroom, and says, you were right, the 3rd date, that's the secret. And that's how it happened.
This is why so many hired you and consult with you. And what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Easy. I'm julieferman.com, and you can go to the Cupid's Coach podcast, which I'm very, very proud of. Cupid's Coach.
We're definitely going to have you back and go longer, because we're also going to take questions from our social media audience and our live fans. Did you love Julie Ferman?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about love.
Yes.
What is love? Where do we find it? How do we find it? Who are we supposed to love? When is it going to happen? When we find it, do we get to keep it? It's always been a mystery. And I think there's a little magic in it too, like, now you see it, now you don't. Now I feel it. Now I don't. One of the secrets is the art of social magnetism and how we go about drawing the right people to us. I learned from one of my early mentors, a gal named Shelley Campbell, that there are two kinds of people in the world. There are my people, and there are not my people. We can't please everybody. Not everybody's going to love us. So our job as human beings who are social creatures who need each other in order to thrive and survive is to magnetize the right people to us. And the people who don't resonate with us, they don't like me, they think I'm obnoxious, they think I'm too this or that, they can go play over there. And I'll play over here. And we'll wave to each other and we'll wish each other well. But I want you all to practice the fine art of finding your people. The people who make you feel full, whole, and complete. That's your job. Thank you, darling.